Hello there, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you listening, I'm having Jessica on today because of something that I saw her post, or maybe it was even a comment you said on LinkedIn. But you talked about how video has changed you. And that's something that
Mhm.
I have noticed for a long time. And the guests that I work with is we'll talk a lot about their journey getting comfortable on video, but other things will come up too, right? And how gaining confidence in this one area, video, has helped give them confidence in other areas, right? Or how, working through discomfort or even, just the skill set you gain from video. It's a lot of
Mhm.
transferable skills. So I'm excited to have this conversation because for once, we're finally going to be able to focus pretty much exclusively on that, right? We're going to be talking
Right.
about Jessica and her journey and, where she was a few years ago when she started using video, where she is today, what that transition was like, and even what the future holds. Because I assure you, using video regularly and getting confident being on camera will absolutely have effects on other areas of your life too. So without further ado, hello, Jessica. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, hello. Appreciate you having me. And it is an interesting topic, video changing who you are. So I'm excited to talk about it. And I've been
Absolutely.
doing video for about 3-ish years. So that's a little bit about my background. I've been working at BombBomb, a
Yeah.
video marketing company.
Yeah. And you started using video 3 years ago when you started working at BombBomb. And
Mhm.
BombBomb is a video email tool. So I'm assuming these videos were in the context of video emails. Were you doing much other video back then, or was that where you started?
So video email is where I started. Now, when I refer to video, I'm going to be talking about like Zoom, personal one-to-one videos through BombBomb, as well as LinkedIn videos. But definitely got my start at video email.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you can, if you recall this far back, take us back to some of these first video emails you did when you started working there. What were you
Mm.
feeling when you were recording those and sending those?
Yes, I will tell you, very, very uncomfortable, extremely awkward. So I went into BombBomb knowing that it's an amazing company. They have great company culture. The people there are great, and that they do something with video. So I wasn't really sure. I knew, okay, you can send an email through or send a video through email. It's easier than doing it through your phone, but I didn't really get the whole idea. So
Yeah.
on the very first day, they say, okay, you're going to take a video, you're going to send it to all the people in the company. And I was like, okay, this should be fine. Like, I'll just introduce myself. Well, I start taking the video, and it takes me 2 hours to take a 15-second video. So here I am, like, re-record. Oh, that sounded terrible. I got to re-record. Oh my gosh, I was looking over there. Something distracted me. And then once I sent that out, I had a bunch of people walk over to me when we were in the office, and they said, hey, I have a video tip for you. Look at the camera. Don't look at yourself. Talk like you're normal. And all these tips made me feel like, oh, shoot, does that mean my video was shit? It
Yeah.
probably did. So what I'll say is like your first 50 videos, they're probably going to be bad and it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable and you feel all weird, but it's something you do get over. So that was the first experience, was just feeling terrible about it. And once I sent it out, I just felt even more terrible about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I used to work at BombBomb as well. So, I share the
Yeah.
experience with Jessica of, having to record that video for the whole company. I don't think I did it, I didn't do quite as many takes for that one, but it was still easily a dozen takes to get it. And again, it was a very quick little video that I sent out. The one that took the
Mhm.
longest actually as part of the application process was recording a video and sending it into the hiring manager. And that one took me well over an hour. And
Yeah.
again, it was just video after video after video. It was pretty much the same thing. I just like made these minor adjustments. So, anyways, that's kind of where Jessica started, right? Now, next, I want to kind of take a look at you as a person and your personality and what you were like back then, right? Because this is pretty much pre-video days, right? You hadn't had the influence of video in your life at that point. So,
Right.
how would you describe in general, your self-confidence in life?
Mm. Okay. So before I started video, I had been out of college. I went to CU Boulder, studied business, economics, and I took about 6 months off, and then I got the job at BombBomb. So I would say I was feeling pretty low on the confidence scale because I had never had a full-time job before, right? I've
Yeah.
I've done internships, part-term gigs. So that experience piece was not there. So I didn't have any experience to lean back on for confidence. I didn't really know how the job world worked. So I was like, how does this 8-hour a workday work? How do I do lunch breaks? Oh my gosh, am I going to have to talk to my fellow coworkers? Um, I wouldn't say I'm completely blessed with socialness, so I have a little bit of that social anxiety.
Yeah.
So I would say I was pretty low on the confidence scale.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not know what I was coming into.
Yeah, it's interesting. Had you known just how much video you had to use, do you think you would have been so excited to apply for BombBomb?
No. I did not know that I'd be sending like 10, 20 videos a day. I had no idea if I'd be doing video.
Yeah.
Probably should ask that.
Yeah.
A good thing I didn't.
Yeah, really. Yeah, really. But you had to, right, as part of the job, which, ended up being a benefit, right? Otherwise, you may never have, pushed through that. All right.
Yeah.
So you didn't have the greatest self-confidence. What was your communication skills? How did you say those were back in those days?
Yes. I love this question because communication, there's always room for growth. The biggest reason why we have like problems in our society, we have problems in our relationships, is because miscommunication. And so there's always growth there. And I will never say that I've mastered communication, nor am I good at it. I will tell you right now, I'm way better than when I started.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably rate myself 1 to 10, 10 being awesome at communicating and 1 being terrible, probably a 3. I don't think they necessarily teach those things in school. It's one of those things you learn from experience, getting in awkward situations with coworkers or misinterpreting something with a boss. So definitely low confidence, low communication.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Were you, how open were you to new experiences in general, right? In the 5-factor model of personality, openness is a personality trait. Were you fairly open to new experiences at that point or no?
Yes. So I like to live in that uncomfortable feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've always been a little bit of an oddball. I can fit in with the popular group, but I also like to hang out with the theater kids. So I never really felt that like, here's where I am and here's where I feel comfortable. So it's very easy for me to live in that uncomfortable space. So love new experiences. I love to learn. And I think every single experience you have, bad or good, it's going to help you grow. So I'm always open to that.
Do you think that general orientation towards being open to new experiences, do you think how important was that, I guess, to you being able to get comfortable and confident on camera?
Yeah, working at BombBomb, I was essentially, just dropped my pen, I was essentially forced to do video.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the openness may have helped a little bit, but I was forced to do it.
That's true. Yeah.
I think if I were like a real estate agent or if I was in insurance and my coach was telling me to do video, that's when that trait would have really helped, being open to new experiences, because I talk to people every day where they know video is important. They have so many people telling them to do video, but they're just not open to experiencing new things. They say, this is how I do business. I do not want to add anything else. So for me, I don't think that trait did necessarily help. But if I were in a different place, I think it would definitely be a huge driver.
Yeah, no, I can definitely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, working at a video email company does have that forcing function.
Yeah.
Video, so
yeah, and you get all the good tips, so you feel a little bit more comfortable than someone else who has no idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your initial state, right? But then you started using video, 10, 20 videos a day. This is part of your job. What do you feel started to shift and change first? Where did you start to see the growth and improvement first?
I would say confidence is the biggest thing that started changing. And there's kind of 2 stages. There's confidence on camera, just sending a video, recognizing, hey, I made an important message, it's going out, and someone's going to receive it well. And then the second part of that confidence is, hey, now that I'm confident on camera, I'm going to focus on my word choice. I'm going to focus on my tonality. I'm going to focus on, am I fun in my videos? Am I doing something different? So the two layers there is confidence in who I am and just being comfortable with myself and portraying that to others. And then the second part of the confidence is me as a professional, me in my current role as an account executive at BombBomb.
Yeah. Did those
Yeah.
two rise together simultaneously? Did one lead the other?
Mm-mm. The first one came really gradual, and then the second one kind of popped up after a period of time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So confidence on camera, just to clarify, was kind of a gradual increase, right, over time as you did videos each
Yeah.
day. Um, and then the confidence in your professional abilities kind of went up fairly quickly. Do you remember maybe what caused that or what factors contributed to that sharp rise?
Yeah. I think this is something you see when you work with people every day on video, that people who are comfortable on the camera and they're ready to go with the video, they're oftentimes pretty comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
It's like that direct reflection. Other people who are scared to be on camera, they don't turn on their Zoom video, it just says their name,
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that I can immediately know, hey, there's something about themselves they don't love. They may be a little bit insecure, and I don't know where I'm going with that exactly, but video just really helps that shine through.
Yeah.
Right? It's like looking at a mirror. It's right there in your face. Are you comfortable with yourself or are you not?
So do you feel like getting
So,
comfortable with yourself on camera did have a connection to and kind of helped cause getting comfortable with yourself as a professional and confident as a professional?
yes, because first you have to be comfortable and confident with yourself. And then once you are, then you can really focus on your skills and your sales abilities, your ability to sell a home, whatever it may be. So it's kind of like that phrase of love yourself before you can love someone else.
Yeah.
Be comfortable in your own skin before you can help someone else.
It's interesting.
So I think that's where I'm going. Like, first part, be yourself, know yourself, be comfortable. And second part, that's out of the way. So now you can really excel at the other things that matter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is kind of interesting. So the gradual change with the video, and then kind of once you got that confidence in your own skin, it was pretty easy
Mm-hmm.
to move on to the confidence as your professional abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
As these changes were happening, were you like aware that fundamental parts of your personality and your personality traits were changing, or did it just feel like, I don't
Yeah.
know, you were getting better at a specific skill?
Yeah. So I think sales does this for people, is it helps them have less of like a, depending on how you do sales, you have less of a approach of I'm self-centered, I'm doing what I want, I'm reaching out to people because I want XYZ, to more of a outward looking focus. Hey, I'm reaching out to John. I know he needs help with getting more referrals in his business, and I know video can help. So what can I say or what can I do to help him? So sales does that, help you think of others more, be less of a selfish and egotistical human being, and think
Yeah.
more about how others need your help, right? And then I think video just exacerbates that, because when you're on a camera, you're really thinking about, what am I saying? How am I portraying myself? Am I just talking about myself and just looking at myself, or am I actually thinking about the other person receiving this video? So I'd say it in general, as a person, I am a lot less selfish, and I do think of others a little bit more, which is really cool. And it's helped
Did
a
you
lot of my
find
relationships.
that in those days that you were uncomfortable being on camera, did you find that focusing your attention on other people and kind of focusing your attention away from yourself on the recipient, did that help you overcome the nerves and act more confident on camera?
Yeah, I like that question. If you are uncomfortable on camera, you're probably thinking just about yourself. What do I look like? What do I sound like? Not how can I help this person? And a coworker at BombBomb named Paul, he told me this like a year and a half ago. He said, the video is not about you. It's about that customer. It's about that prospect. I was like, shoot, that's good. Like, why am I thinking so much about myself? I'm sending the video for this person, so I should think about them. And that helps you think less about who you are, what you look like, and get all eerie. And now you're just thinking, did I provide that person value? Yes, I did. Check. That video's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you found that that type of thinking has pervaded other areas of your life too, outside of just your sales messaging and your video messages?
Yeah. Love where you're going with this. So I think it's twofold. Video helped me be more introspective, thinking about how do I want to communicate? How do I want to be portrayed? And how do I want people to see me so that I can become a better person and grow? And then the second thing is what we just talked about of how can I provide more value? And how can I be there for other people and help other people? Um, Video is just, it's so intense and in your face. It's like when you look in a mirror, you see who you are and how others see you. That's kind of what video does. Because it's not like a texted email where you type something and you're like, they could receive it this way or that way. We'll see how it goes. It's a gamble. Here, what you're saying, what you're doing, it's pretty obvious what you mean. So you got to really think through what you're saying and what you're doing and your body language and your tonality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we move on, I'm kind of curious. You mentioned that video makes you be very introspective, right? And really look at yourself. And I think I experienced that too, right? In my time working at BombBomb too, I noticed that, a lot of people, it almost felt like there were things in their life that escaped them that they didn't really notice. And then once they had to start using video, they were forced to come face to face with that, right? And they were forced to address those things. If you don't mind sharing, for you, were there any habitual patterns of negative self-talk? Were there any inner demons you had to wrestle with to get comfortable on video that maybe without video you would have just like turned a blind eye away from and ignored and not dealt with?
Well, I think this answers your question. So when you send out an email, it's up to their interpretation. Let's see how this goes. That's kind of how I was before. And now, if I send a video, I know that they're going to take my message probably how I meant it. So 3 years ago, I could have typed out, hope you have a fabulous day, exclamation point, emoji, smiley face, and I seem like this amazing, friendly, happy person. But now in video, you only have those days when they're like, it's been a day, I don't even know how to turn my frown into a smiley face. Like, I just feel like all this tense, like my whole body's tense and like my eyes are like this. And I'm just like, like it's hard to even fake being happy or smiling. I don't really know exactly where I'm going with this. I think what I'm trying to say is faking it is a lot harder in video.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to kind of force yourself to be that person that you're trying to fake. Like,
Interesting.
I actually am a happy person. I actually am a nice person. I'm not faking it, because faking it on camera, it's pretty easy to tell. Is that making sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I've experienced that, but I never quite put words to it. But I think you're right. An example for me is, when I get some kind of alert that someone got promoted at their job on LinkedIn, or someone had a work anniversary, or someone got something, right? In the past, it would be very easy to type something in and say, hey, so happy for you. Congratulations on the new job. Hope things are going well. And you don't have to mean a freaking word of it, right? And it looks like it's coming across sincere. But yeah, on a video, you can't. So on a video, you actually have to force yourself to say, all right, let me force myself into this person's world. Let me picture what it's like to be them and to feel that excitement. And let me actually think for a second, what might be on the horizon for them? And I actually have to force myself to do the work of entering into that place where I genuinely am curious and I genuinely am excited, genuinely do care. And then I can send my video after I've taken that 5 seconds, a minute, whatever it takes to really enter that space mentally. And I've gone through that in prospecting videos too, right? Again, it's easy to type up words like, hey, I hope you're doing well. And I don't know, like you can type up sincere sounding words in an email, even if behind it all you really care about is getting the sale and is this person going to respond to me or not, because I got to hit quota. And it's possible to do that. But in a video email, it's not possible to hide that. So if you want people to think of you as somebody who is genuinely concerned about them and is more interested in, approaching this with curiosity to figure out if they can help than they are in closing a sale, you actually have to take time to don that mindset and think that way and be that way. You can't cheat and get by pretending to be that person when you're not. And I didn't quite realize until you said it, that actually probably does have long-term impacts, right? When you do that repeatedly over and over again, you actually do change the way you think and the way you prioritize. Is that what you're saying? Because that's right. That's what I was
Yeah.
hearing.
I
Huh.
love, yeah, absolutely. You got me. I don't think I answered your question completely the same direction you were hoping, but
All right. All right. We can pivot.
uh, yeah, essentially the idea is you can fake it on video. It's going to be very hard. It's going to require a lot of energy. So it's easier to just become a genuine person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's that's really interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you have a like similar experience? Do you know what I'm talking about?
well, like I said, with those experiences I just shared, um, yeah, again, I don't think I quite connected the dots, but I have noticed that with time, I have genuinely become a more curiosity-oriented seller, right? Because
Mm,
a lot of times you approach a sales interaction with mentality of, what do I gotta do to make this close? What do I gotta say to get this guy to book a meeting? And that's the
yeah.
attitude you bring into the sale. And there are other times you come into the sale and you legitimately are just curious. Can I help?
Right.
Is there actually alignment between what I offer and what they need? If there's not, no big deal. It doesn't bother me. If there is, great. Let's do the next step. And again, in order to come across in my videos the way I wanted to come across, I had to really force myself into that mindset. And just by doing that over and
Mm,
over again, I have become that type of a seller. And until this
mhm.
conversation, I hadn't quite realized that that probably wouldn't have happened or wouldn't have happened as quickly without video, because again, I could have kept that old mindset and typed up the words that needed to be said, and it would have been
Mhm.
okay. With the video, you cannot hold on to that old mindset and have the video come
Yeah.
across the right way. You have to adopt the new mindset to make the video come across correctly. So it
Yeah.
forced me to do the work in a way that, I more quickly changed my sales style than I would have otherwise.
Mhm.
Oh, that is cool.
I like
I'm
that.
telling you, doing this podcast has been so much fun because I learned so much from
So
it.
would you say then that video, like just connecting the dots here, video has made you a better person?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said,
That's
it's
cool.
it's forced me to truly adopt some of maybe my more aspirational values, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
here's the way I want people to perceive me. And on video, I can't hide the fact that I'm not actually that. So if I want people to perceive me this way, I damn well better go through the work of actually becoming that way for real, because you can't fake it
Yes.
on video. Where in Tech Out Text, you don't have to do that work if you don't want to. You can probably still have people perceive you one way if you just know the right words to use and not actually do the internal work of aligning your true beliefs with that aspirational identity that you want people to see in you.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Something else that you kind of mentioned that I want to hover on for a little bit.
Sure.
You talked about how in a video, people are going, I guess you have to pay a little bit more attention to your tonality, your words, your body
Hmm.
language, what you say, how you say it, right? In the absence of re-recording it over and over and over and over again, you get one or two shots, right, to get it right. It's not like an email where you can just edit out one or two words. So it means that when you're
Hmm.
recording a video, you have to be a little bit more mindful about those things going into it.
Yep. Yep.
Have you found that that has become maybe a skill that you have now you didn't have before, right? I'm imagining, what you've done 5,000 video emails, right? After 5,000 repetitions of that process, it might be a little bit more innate and take less effort. Does that question make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So it's helped me think on my feet. It's helped me have a better vocabulary, like to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, for example, before a video, I think about two big things. One, what's the main goal? What's the main message behind this? And two, how does that help my recipient? So, when I think of those two things, I used to write a script, say it a bunch, then hit record, and it'd be a little bit, it'd be like a 10-minute process per video. But now I'm like, I don't have time for that. I've done enough of these. I should be able to just think of those two things and then start talking once I hit record, which I have gotten to that point now, thank goodness, because it saves you a lot of time. Um, and then you can be, more you and raw and authentic. Scripts sound weird. But how this has gone into my regular life is when I'm talking with someone on the phone. Maybe I'm talking to my dad on the phone, for example.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm talking on the phone or when I'm dialing, I'm thinking, okay, what's the goal of this message? How does it help my dad? Whereas before, I'd just call my dad and I'd just start talking. Dad, listen to all this stuff that's happening. Oh my gosh, can you help me? So now it's much more of I have a more direct communication. I have a goal for what I'm about to say, and then I am thinking about that other person on the other side of the line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now that I think about it, I've kind of one thing I've experienced along those lines in the world of video is that thinking on your feet, where I've noticed a lot of times I'll start a video where I have the goal in mind, but I don't actually know what I'm going to say. But I just
Sure.
start talking, and as one sentence comes up, the next one is ready for me to use, right?
Yeah.
And over the course of thousands and thousands and thousands of videos, I've gotten pretty good at that process of being able to lay one sentence out and have the next one appear as I'm going rather than having it
Mm-hmm.
laid out in advance. And that helps me in sales calls, right? When
Yep.
sales calls don't go according to plan and I have to kind of think on my feet. It helps me in job interviews, right? I was recently job hunting and I was able to do well in the interviews. And I think a big part of that was, sending thousands upon thousands of videos. Because again, when you're typing
Absolutely.
up an email, you have the luxury of stopping, pausing, backspacing, rewording, thinking. So when
Yep.
you're doing a video, you just got to keep going, right? The camera's on. You just have to say, all right, I got to make this happen. And that mental exercise of forcing your brain to come up with coherent thoughts on the fly and not letting your brain escape with a break in a moment to think. I think that's
Yeah.
a skill set that transfers outside of video, right? Into podcast interviews like we're doing, into
Yeah.
live conversations. Huh.
Absolutely. Voicemails. It's almost like having like speed dating. You meet
Right.
someone and then you have to think on your feet, like, what question should I ask them? Like, oh my gosh, there's awkward silence. This is extremely awkward. What do I do? And that's kind of what video is you're doing a bunch of speed dates throughout the day. There's not someone on the other side right now, but similar idea. So you're getting a lot more, okay, what do I say? What do I do? Situations within your day.
Yeah. So cool. All right. So this, we kind of covered the past. We kind of talked about the skill sets you have now. Um,
Mm.
what do you think is next for you with video, right? You've kind of mastered video email. What are kind of the next, I guess, frontiers of video usage that you foresee for yourself?
Yeah. So we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, where we all have something that we're very skilled at naturally, right? And some of us know what it is. We're utilizing it. We're great relationship builders, whatever it may be. I don't think I've found that one thing for myself yet. So I really want to find that. And then I want to just shout it from the rooftops through video. So, for example, you might hop on a phone with someone, they're super energetic, you can tell they're really fun, and so they're great on video, on camera. They bring that energy. It's a fun thing for people to watch. I don't think that's necessarily my strength. So I want to find what that is and
Yeah.
then make sure that I let it shine through video. And the ultimate goal, obviously, is to help that person on the other side. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be necessarily, but being able to really deep dive for myself, and hopefully that will transfer to helping people in a more natural way.
Yeah. We've talked about some skill sets you've developed because of using video, right? Thinking on your feet, being one
Mm-hmm.
of them, being more empathetic and focus on others being another. Are there any other maybe skill sets that you feel that continued use of video will bring you? Things that maybe you aren't good at now that you're hoping continued video use will make you good at?
Mm. So I'm all about word choice and having your sentences flow, and I think I'm very bad at it right now. Like, throughout this podcast, you probably heard me trip on my words or use incorrect words.
Mhm.
I think that's something that I've struggled with. So I want to be able to really articulate myself well, and I think that's something that is going to take a little bit of time. And with video, I think it's harder to do because I can't look up a dictionary and type something out. I got to, say it on my feet. So
Yeah.
that would be the next thing that I want to master and get better at.
Yeah, I can see that. What else? What else do you think we can expect out of future Jessica? Right? Go ahead and make a few bold predictions here. What's future
Bold
Jessica gonna
predictions.
gonna bring to us all?
Ooh, so I think video helps with public speaking for all the things that we've already mentioned, the skills that you gain from video. I would love to go to trade shows once that's a thing
Yeah, right.
and just really kill it on the stage. I would love to be more of a LinkedIn presence. When it says like top 100 sales LinkedIn
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
you
right.
know,
Yep.
I would love to be one of those people and give people all the knowledge they need when it comes to video. because it will better your business. It will better you. It is hard to do, and it's not going away. So I think that is something that I bring to the table, telling you about my video experience, that I like to wear glasses because it makes me feel more confident on camera for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Sometimes it helps me save my facial expressions if I have a bad one. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it has like that computer glare. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've been able to
Yeah.
see it, but
I've seen it before.
so
Don't see it now, but sometimes.
yeah, it also depends which glasses. I have 3 pairs, so
All right. There we
whatever
go.
I'm feeling that day.
All the
Yeah,
video
so
tips is what we can expect from you going
yeah,
forward.
video tips, being a bigger person in the industry of video, an influencer, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, thanks a ton for your time, Jessica. Like I said, a lot of people experience these changes in their personalities because of video, but we've never had a chance to really
Yeah.
dive deep into it like we did today.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, for those of you listening, Jessica works at a company called BombBomb. It's a video email communication tool. And in addition to just being a really effective thing you should work into your business, period, one thing that I've always found is great about video email is it's a really nice easy way to get started with video, right? Sometimes doing a
Yep.
LinkedIn or a Facebook Live or a public LinkedIn video for hundreds of people to see can sound too overwhelming. But
Daunting.
recording a simple video to send to your favorite customer and they're the only ones who will ever see it, sometimes it's a
Yep.
nice baby step to get in the world of video. So
Totally.
if you guys want to learn more about video email in your business, I highly recommend you contact Jessica so she can talk to you about BombBomb. Speaking of which, how should people get in contact with you, Jessica?
Yes, thanks for asking, John. So my LinkedIn is just Jessica Buller, Buller. It's not Bueller, it's Buller. But if you make a Ferris Bueller reference, I won't be mad. So that's the best way. Or if you want to email me directly, jessica.buller@bombbomb.com. Pretty simple.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks so much
All
for your
right.
time today.
Thanks, John. I enjoyed the conversation.